Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to this special ceremony. This is the grand final of the international competition of the Green Building Solutions Awards. And I hope you're all having a very good time in Glasgow. As many of you are aware, this is a hugely important moment for humanity, a hugely important moment for all of us. And we have a great privilege, of course, all to be gathered here in this very prestigious room in this fantastic city. So thank you to Glasgow for hosting us. I also wanted to say that, as many of us realize, it's a huge challenge, isn't it? Crisis and the last 10 days of negotiations have shown us how difficult it is for us to reach agreement and to make progress. And I think that's why these awards and this moment is extra specially important, because actually, as governments are trying to step up to solve this crisis, business also needs to step up. And I think actually today, this event and all that we represent here is very much about business stepping up to the challenge of the climate crisis. So I'm delighted to be here as your host. My name is Brian Kilkelly. I'm the Chief Executive of Climate Business, and I'll be your host, introducing various speakers coming up and down on behalf of Construction 21. So thank you, Construction 21, for inviting me to support this event. And I'd love to introduce you now to the President of Construction 21, Christian Berdag.
Thank you, Helen. Madam Minister, ladies and gentlemen, dear partners, dear candidates. Welcome to the Winners' Gala of Green Solutions Awards 2021. And thanks to Hellon, Councillor of the city of Glasgow, to host this event in this gorgeous building of the City Chamber. Thanks to Barbara Pompeli, French Minister for Ecological Transition, to be with us. As President of Construction 21 International, I'm very happy man tonight, especially after 18 months of pandemic. It's a great pleasure to meet you in person again. We never stop the activity of Construction 21 as everything or almost is online. But this ceremony is a rare opportunity to gather so many talented professionals from all over the world, an opportunity to discover innovative solutions and inspiring projects. Finally, it is also an opportunity during the cocktail to exchange about our goals, our dreams, our practice. So let's enjoy it. Tonight, Construction 21 Teams is also back to the COP after 3 years. Last time it was in Poland, in Katowice. And for these 2 years, the climate urgency is higher than ever. We all know about the huge challenge we are facing today: climate change, biodiversity loss, resource depletion. And we are all worried about the too slow evolution to address them efficiently. That is why, beside the international negotiation and the public policies implemented by state, we think there is a need for simple but efficient action. And first, we need to know how to implement better solutions at all levels. That is the goal of this contest. The same since 2013. We know how. Thank you. I have a nice team to help me. To identify outstanding projects designed and built by innovative professionals able to inspire all the other ones. Describe them, the general approach, the selected solution, the costs, the stakeholder involved in the project, and then disseminate them by an intense communication activity. Our mission is to showcase this project and this solution as well to the professionals who are behind this project. So tonight we will discover in many places in the world talented professionals that have already implemented solutions which could be easily replicated at large scale. And we hope that this solution will quickly become standard of the market. This contest would not exist without the support of our partners. I would like to warmly thank all the candidates, of course, but also our media partners, the Global ABC for its institutional support, and a great thank also to our sponsors, especially our international sponsors, BNP Paribas Real Estate and Aegis, for their precious support. Without them, this contest could not exist. And before giving you the floor, dear Alain Cazet, I am pleased to declare open this international ceremony of the Green Solution Award. You have the floor.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction, and good evening, everybody. I know we have guests from all over the world here tonight, so I've got a broad Glaswegian accent, so I will try and speak very, very slowly so that everybody can understand, so I'll try my very best. So welcome to our City Chambers here in Glasgow, the heart of our host city zone for COP26, and the heart of the city government in Glasgow for over a century. It's a privilege to greet you here today and to provide you with this magnificent space for your award ceremony. The Green Solution Awards is a key moment here at COP in the wider work of the Construction 21 network, and one which Glasgow is very pleased to host. Glasgow has set an ambitious target of achieving carbon neutrality by the year 2030. We face significant challenges in terms of decarbonising the built environment and the transport sector. We share these challenges with every other city in the world, and whilst their weather, geography, and sometimes cultures can be very different, all of us need to learn from our successes and reflect on our mistakes. We know we need to do more to make the transition to a greener economy and society, and we need to act quickly. Innovation in technology and our finance and the ways we approach these challenges is obviously vital. That is why this award ceremony is so important this evening. It offers us new perspectives, and perhaps just as importantly, it gives us confidence that we really can find solutions to the biggest issues of our time. Your last award ceremony had 192 candidates from 37 countries across the planet. This is a real testament to the global reach of Construction 21 network and a sign of the levels of innovation which are being applied across our world. The awards rightly take account of the very different climate challenges we face as cities, regions and places. We in Glasgow live on the northwestern edge of Europe, and believe it or not, we get a lot of rain, as you may have seen over the last couple of days or the time you've spent here. So surface water management and the flood risks are key issues around this city. But if we get too much water as it falls from the skies, then we know that many of other places have severe issues with little water and too much heat. All of us are seeing the local weather impacts of global climate change. Whilst it is absolutely vital that we decarbonise our economy and society as rapidly as we can, adaptation and climate resilience are therefore equally important elements of our city policies and action. Here in Glasgow, we have established a Place Commission to help us think about buildings, people, infrastructure, and the public realm. The city conversation is, of course, about that built environment, but also takes a broader view about spatial planning and what we call placemaking. So it's good to see how the Green Solution Awards have expanded to include buildings, districts and infrastructure. We need consideration of all of these elements if we are to take an integrated approach to low carbon and climate resilient places. Cities like Glasgow have to work with the physical reminders of our own history. The legacy of our high carbon past still casts long shadows. The closure of industries left the scars of derelict and often toxic land across the city, an ongoing blight and a barrier to prosperity and well-being. We are committed to ensuring that the city makes a just transition for our people to a greener economy, and society, and that we address inequalities of access to high-quality green space and protect biodiversity. This is especially significant in Glasgow, where 70% of us live in flats, or tenements as we call them, and the experience of lockdown during the pandemic has taught us huge importance of public realm for walking, cycling and wheeling. Our distinctive tenemental build form is also a huge challenge for energy efficiency retrofit, and we currently have a pilot project to bring tenemental blocks up to passive house standards to help us retain the best of our architecture whilst making it fit for a net zero city. Glasgow's relationship with the Construction 21 network has been fostered by the city's participation in the D2 Grids project. This has been led by Clyde Gateway, and I want to commend it as an outstanding example on a national basis for Scotland and locally for us in Glasgow of an approach to place, people and prosperity, which has low carbon energy, climate adaptation and good quality green jobs at its heart. That is a mark of the city's ambition and a tangible example of how we remain connected to our European friends and allies on a range of policy discussions. Today's awards help us all to learn from each other, to celebrate successes and to address the key challenges of our age. It is therefore a privilege for the city to host you, and I look forward to hearing about your award winners later on this evening. So thank you and enjoy your time in Glasgow. Thank you.
Thank you, Hellon GSA. Thank you. And I have now the honor to call Barbara Pompeli, French Minister for Ecological Transition, to join me. You have the floor.
Thank you, Christian. Hellon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to be here with you in this magnificent Glasgow City Chambers. My presence today aims to highlight the importance of the building and construction sectors, and more broadly of the sustainable city in achieving the objectives of the Paris Agreement. I know that I'm speaking to an audience that is already convinced, and some of you have already been rewarded for the excellence of the projects they have carried out. Buildings account for 1/3 of total global energy consumption, and this share is growing dramatically. To face this situation, housing renovation is essential. That's why the French Recovery Plan invests 6.7 billion euro in the renovation of private housing, the renovation of public buildings and social housing, as well as in the improvement of the energy efficiency of tertiary buildings of SMEs and VSEs. This investment is crucial, not only for reducing CO2 emissions, but also for its strong positive impact on local job creation. It's a part of the solution to grant a just transition, creating large added value. Clearly, this challenge cannot be solved at national level. For this reason, we are fully engaged in the Global Alliance for Building and Construction, launched in COP21, that we co-chair with the World Business Council for Sustainable Development. This alliance brings together 34 countries and more than 160 organizations mobilized for zero-emission, efficient and resilient buildings. In this framework, we support actions on the ground through the Energy Efficiency Programme, which is particularly active in Tunisia, Morocco, Senegal, Mexico, and Vietnam. Such commitments at national and international levels are based on the strong cooperation between public authorities and private sector. This approach is reflected in the projects presented to the Green Solution Awards. They are a good example of the great mobilization of different stakeholders to improve buildings, districts, and infrastructures. These projects present interesting solutions carried out by many innovative and skillful architects, engineers, producers, and builders, all engaged for the transition. I wish that all the innovative solutions awarded tonight will help inspiring and improving standards for the whole building sector at a global scale. Congratulations to all winners to be announced, and thank you for your commitment for the preservation of our planet. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Barbara Pompeli. Thank you. So I will leave the floor to, I don't know, le maître de cérémonie, the master of ceremony.
Great. Thank you very much, Christian. Thank you, Minister. Fantastic. I'd love to introduce now Veronique Bapp from Construction 21, who will just explain a little bit more about the awards. Veronique.
Thank you, Mrs. Pompeli and Madam Minister. Very proud to be there tonight. I just wanted to give you a few words about the back office of this contest, because you will discover the winners, but what is behind. This year, for this edition, we had almost 200 candidates. So that means that building about 148 buildings, 15 eco-districts, and 29 infrastructures. That means renewable energies system. It can be mobility, it can be urban services, it can be infrastructure about circular economy, so many things like that. And all these candidates were analyzed by national juries in the different countries where we have some platforms and teams. The result of this first tour was 52 finalists. So they were the champions of their different countries, and today they are the basis of the selection the international juries did a few months ago. So you will discover all these finalists, and you will discover especially the winners and the mention the juries selected for you, because they thought that it was the most inspiring projects which could be disseminated and showcased everywhere, and we hope that they will inspire the whole building sector in the next months and years. Just a last word to finish. Today is the closing of the contest for the 2021 edition. It is also the start of something new, the new step, because we are going from tonight to communicate about all these winners, about the solutions, about the stakeholders who are behind this project, because behind this project there are people, men and women who are very committed to engage the profession on more sustainable construction. So we are going to communicate with many different channels. That is our job. So about web, about social media, about videos, about conference, about webinars, and many other means of communication. So I would just like to now leave the floor to Brian, and now can start the presentation of the winners. So enjoy.
Fantastic. So now we're at the moment, hopefully you're all waiting for, which is let's get on with the award ceremony. So what I'd like to do is first of all invite our jury representative, Roland Hunziger, to come and join him on stage, Roland. So our first prize is going to be the Districts Prize, and we're going to run through the kind of finalists, and then of course look at the mentions and the winners. This is the jury. Ooh, if we could just go back maybe to the jury. Thank you. Now Roland, as you might spot, was not actually on the jury, but we didn't manage to, none of the jury members could make it, so Roland very kindly offered to come and join us and present this award. And maybe I can just introduce Roland to you to start with. So Roland is the Director of Sustainable Buildings and Cities at the World Business Council for Sustainable Development. Roland is also a representative of the Global Alliance for Buildings and Construction. And as you've already heard, the Global Alliance is hugely important to all of us here in terms of the work it does, and it's been a great supporter of this competition since 2016. And actually many of the jury members that you'll hear about today are also members of the Global Alliance for Buildings and Construction. So a very important partner, and Roland, we're delighted to have you here as their representative, as well as from the World Business Council for Sustainable Development. Thank you for joining, Roland.